interesting. Okay, girls. Okay, fine. So the previous time, right? We talked about the dynamic, okay, how to deal with forces that cause what? The motion. We had homework, right?
What?
No? Okay. Open your book, page 25, page 52, sorry. Page 52. Exercise 3D. Exercise what? 3D. We did some of them, right? We did what? Some of them. Okay? Did I do J? J. Did I do that on the board? K, K. L. Sure. L. B. لا ما تقولش L. L. Yes, L. Okay, look to L. Now in L we have what? Look at the forces, please. Actually, L is a very important one. Guys, L is very important. How to deal with these forces like this. Follow me. Just pay attention. Now we have here 5 kilograms. Okay. We have friction force. I will draw it here, no matter. Okay. Friction force, it's here, from here, so it becomes like this. R, normal. Look to this force, which is 56 newtons, and the angle given to the vertical is 45 degrees. Here we have weight 5G, right? These forces are given in the question, and we are asked if the object is moving or at rest or whatever. Okay, fine. Look here, please. First point here, we have to notice that always I have to draw a free body diagram by using the arrows that their tails, okay, on the object, not their heads. Okay? And then I have to shift the forces, or I have to rearrange the forces so their tails lie where? On the object. فهمت علي كيف؟ يعني طلع هذا الهيد right اللي هو الفريكشن صح؟ I have to shift it as it is here. Is there any difference?
No.
Is there any difference? If the force is coming from here, or if the force pushing the object this way, or pulling the object in this way, is there any difference? No, right? Same thing here, look at this one. I will shift this here, the same direction. I should not change what? The direction. This is 56 newtons. Okay, clear? I only what? Shifted the force here this way. The angle is given with what? The angle given with vertical, it will be kept with vertical. Okay, it will be kept with vertical. Clear? Yeah. Any question about shifting the force? So the first point here, in order to simplify doing these type of questions, we have to shift the forces or rearrange the forces, right, in order to have their tails on the object. Clear? Alright, you can do another thing, no matter, but this is I think the simplest way. مثلا نعمل shift، يعني هذا Okay, fine. So the free body diagram becomes like this. Okay, just pay attention please here. Yeah, Sham. 5G. Okay, fine. This force becomes here 56 newtons and the angle 45 with vertical as it is. The friction in this direction, and here we have what? Normal force. This is the first step, okay? The second one, what I have to do with this force? Resolve, right? I have to resolve. Any force does not lie between or along, does not lie along x-axis or y-axis should be resolved, right? This one along y-axis, along x-axis, this force should be resolved. If you remember, how will we resolve this? Here, look here please. The angle is with vertical, so this becomes 56 what? Cosine 45, right? Since the angle with vertical. And here, 56 what? Sine 45. Clear? Okay, Sham? Any question about this? So, now I will use what? Calculate Fmax, right? Now I have to calculate Fmax. In order to determine if the object is moving or not, first of all I have to determine what? The Fmax. In order to find Fmax, I have to find what? The normal force, right? This is what? Normal force. Mu is given, right? Mu is 1/7. So I have to find the normal force. How can we find the normal force? If you remember, F net vertically upward equals what? 0. No motion along the vertical axis. What do we have here? Normal upward minus 5g downward and 56 cosine 45. This will equal what? 0. Any question about this? Sure?
Yes.
Fit? Fahmin? Sure? Okay, so normal, who calculated this?
88.
88? 88 what? Okay, 0.6. Okay, fine. So Fmax equals 1/7 times 88.6, which is equal 12.7. Excellent. So this is the Fmax. Now where is F applied? Where is F applied? Which force will be responsible about moving the object? So, and this will be responsible to move the object where? Forward, or in the horizontal direction. Tamam? Then it will be what? F applied. Now we will compare F applied with what? Where Fmax? F applied equals, this F applied 39.6 Newton. Compare now Fmax. Yes, if the F applied is greater, so the object is moving, right? So the object is accelerating. So here, F applied is greater than what? Fmax, right? So the result of that the object is moving. This is the first answer for the question. If F applied equals more than Fmax, the friction, yes, the friction now equals what? Fmax, which is what? 12.7 newtons. Now, since it's moving, we have to find the acceleration. How will we find the acceleration? Look here, please. F net forward equals what? M times A. M times A. What is the forward force, Ujjain? Apply. 56 cosine sine 45. Yeah, this one 39.6 minus the friction 12.7 mass 5 times A. A equals 5.39 meter per second square. And then you may write the answer in 2 or 3 significant figures. This becomes 5.4 meter per second square if we rewrote it into simple difference. Okay, clear? Clear? Please copy this quickly. Okay, fine. Look to question 2 in the same exercise. Question 2D, C. Sorry. Question 2C. I think in this question we have to find what? Mu, right? We have to find the coefficient of friction. We have given everything except what? The coefficient of friction. Look at the force diagram or the free body diagram. Here we have friction, right? Normal upward. Force in this way is given. This angle is 45, and this is 20 square root of 2. This is what? 10g, the weight. And we are given that the acceleration in this direction equals 0.5 meter per second square. Clear, girls? Any question about this? Okay.
Acceleration?
Yes, this is given. This is acceleration. We are asked to find mu. We are asked to find what? Mu. Similar thing, I will do the same thing. What I have to do, I have to shift these forces in order to have their tails on the object, right? Yes.
Oh, okay.
This one, and will head on the object, we hit the head on the object, okay? I will shift them, same thing here, I think, except same thing, right? Okay, dynamic. High friction will be shifted here, right? It will become this way. Friction. Here, normal, nothing, it is mu right here. Here, what? 10g. Okay, here, what? 10g. This force, I will shift it this way. This is 20 square root of 2 newtons, and the angle is 45 degrees. Right? With horizontal. Okay, look. I draw here what? Horizontal line, because the angle is given where? In horizontal. I will shift the force as it is. I will keep the angle with the same in the the same axis. يعني إذا هون عن horizontal, right? Here it should be well horizontal. What I have to do here, resolve. So this should be resolved here and here. Okay? Fine. Okay, Eugene. What will here? 20 square root of 2 sine 45. Here 20 square root of 2 cosine what? 45. Here I took cosine on the horizontal one, took cosine because the angle is given with the horizontal. صح؟ In the resolving component, look to the angle. If it's given with horizontal, so the horizontal component will take cosine, while vertical component will take what? Sine. Clear? Any question about this? Okay, fine. Again, here no need to find F max because it's already given that the object is moving, accelerating, right? No need. But here I have to understand that the friction here will exactly F max, right? Equivalent what? F max. Why? It's moving. It's what? Moving. Yes. This is if applied. Right? So, what we have to find, we have to find the mu. In order to find the mu, what I have to find? Mu times R. I have to find F and what? R. F lies horizontally, so I have to use F net along the horizontal axis. While R lies where vertically, so I have to use what the vertical or the resultant force along the vertical axis. يعني مرة ثانية F friction equals mu times R, right? I need to find the mu. In order to find the mu, I have to find the friction in the horizontal axis and normal force, which is in the vertical axis. Okay, so F net in the horizontal direction equals m. This arrow shows what? The direction of acceleration or motion. What do we have here in the forward direction? 20 square root 2 cosine 45 minus friction equals the mass 10 times the acceleration 0.5.
15.
Right? Similar to the previous. But like it equals come? 15 newtons. Right? By doing the algebra. Any question? Right. F net vertical, no motion along the vertical axis. So this becomes what? 0. Right? Okay? What do we have along the vertical axis? Normal minus 10g minus 20 square root of 2 sine 45 equals what? 0. So R equals 118 newtons. Now I got friction, I got what? Normal force. I will be able now to find what? Mu. F equals mu times R. Friction is 15. Mu R 118. Mu equals 0.13. So line has no unit, right? It has no unit. Clear? You'll cover this. After this, we will start with the inclined plane. Okay? ايش بجاين في شيء؟ شو مش تمام؟ Okay guys, just pay attention please. Listen, Sham. Okay. Now we'll talk about what? The inclined plane, how we will deal with the forces what in the inclined plane. Look here, this is an inclined plane. This angle, let's say alpha. Just pay attention. What are the forces now? Let's say there is an object here, okay? And this object, let's say, sliding down. Right? So let's say that the object is sliding. What are the forces here?
Friction.
Yes. Friction, weight, and normal. Look here, please. A normal should be always perpendicular to the surface. Look. This should be perpendicular what? To the surface. Always, normal should be drawn perpendicular to the surface. A weight always perpendicular to the ground. This is the ground. This is what? The ground. So weight always perpendicular to what? To the ground. Okay? Weight always perpendicular what? To the ground. Normal always perpendicular what? To the surface, okay? Perpendicular to the surface. Now, where is the friction always against what? The motion. The friction is against what? The motion. So the friction is here, in this way. Okay. Now, where is the direction of moving? Look, along the plane, right? Or in this direction. What I have to do, I will rotate the axes, and I will take this as an x-axis, or if we can say this, okay? And this as what? Y-axis. Okay? This is what? Y-axis. What I did actually, I rotate what? The axes, right? I rotate what? The axis. Why I have to do this? So the motion will be only along what? The x-axis. This will simplify solving the problem. Okay, it will simplify solving the problem. Yeah, and along y-axis there is no acceleration now. If I draw a y-axis in this way, so along y-axis there is no acceleration. The acceleration is along only what? X-axis. Clear? Look here to the forces. This is normal, right? This is what? Normal. Normal force lies on y-axis. Friction lies where? On x-axis. Weight. So I have to resolve. Okay? Without calculation, without anything, this is alpha.
Why?
Wall.
Yes?
Wall.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. So look here, please. المادة صح ولا ما رحتش؟ فيها هي سلايد شو اسمه similar triangle anyway much better to know that always if this is alpha, this is what? Alpha. Okay, I will explain this for you. بس خليكم عايشين. So if this is alpha, so the weight has component along this y-axis here and what? X-axis here. Pay attention all the time. Look here, please. The weight here will have, right? Will have weight component along this y-axis and what? Yes, along the x-axis, another component. Okay. طيب خليكم معي شوي. إذا هون look here شو بصير عندنا؟ W cosine alpha. Why W cosine alpha? هذا axis, right?
Yeah.
والangle is given with what? With the y-axis. The angle is given with y-axis. So the y component will take what? Cosine. صح? والother component ملك will take what? Sine. This will be what? W sine alpha. Actually, always, down the plane we have what? W sine alpha. In this direction we have always what? W cosine what? Alpha. This is called inclined angle. Inclined what? Angle. Right? Or inclination angle, which is a right? Fine? دائما high angle always down the slope W sine against the normal we have always W what? Cosine, right? W cosine. Then what I have to do, look here please. F net along this direction equals MA. Right? Yes, along the x-axis, but now the x-axis is tilted or rotated, right? So F net in this direction is what? Zero. Yes? Zero. We will use the same terminology as the previous, okay? Yes?
هلا لو كان في عندنا angle بس مش هون.
Where? Here? Find this. The easiest way. This is right triangle.
We have to find the one that
Yes, this one, in order to use it as sine and cosine for the weight. Okay? Yes. Okay, please copy this. So we will answer the questions on page page 55, exercise 3E. Copy this, and I will show you how we will use this terminology in order to find forces, acceleration, anything else. يلا. Okay. Now let's do exercise 3E, right? 3A question 1. 3A question 1. Okay, listen. A particle of mass 0.5 kilograms is placed on a smooth inclined plane. Smooth, which means that the friction here is what? Zero, right? No friction, right? No friction. Smooth inclined plane. Given that the plane makes an angle of 20 with horizontal, find the acceleration of what? Of the particle. So this angle is given is what? 20. Okay? This angle is 20. Okay. Just pay attention, please. Look here. If this angle is 20, this angle is what? Look, this is.
180 minus 90.
Look to this. Look to this triangle. This is 90. If this angle is 20, right? This is 90. This will be 70. Yes, right? Just pay attention. What about this angle?
20.
You know why? And this one is 90. Look. This one is what? 90.
Okay, we don't have to do it that way.
Yes, I know. This one is what? 90 degree, right? If this 70, this becomes what? 20. Okay? So the angle here, instead of alpha, what I have to write here? 20. Mass is what? 0.5. So weight here? 0.5 g. Right? So here it becomes 0.5 g sine 20. Okay? 0.5 g sine 20. Here 0.5 g cosine what? No friction and the normal, right? There is no friction. Okay, what we are asked to find the acceleration. We are asked to find what? The acceleration. I will use this formula. F net, right, down the plane equals what? Mass times acceleration. Look here, along this axis. What are the forces? 0.5 g sine 20. Here there is no force because the friction is 0. So this becomes 0.5 g 9.8, right, sine 20 equals mass 0.5, right, times what? Acceleration. Clear? Any question? So divide by 0.5. 0.5. A equals what?
3.35.
3.35 meter per second square. Clear? What is your problem, Jay? Did you understand the previous one?
Yeah.
Resolving to components هذا الشيء. I just substitute the numbers بس. يعني بدل weight we substitute here what? 0.5 g. Instead of alpha 20, 0.5 is 0.5 g cosine 20. Now if I ask you what is the normal force here? Look, girls, what is the normal force? Yes, excellent. F net in this direction equals what? 0. Just pay attention. Okay, please. Malak, just pay attention. If I would like to find normal here, I have to take this, the forces along this direction. R minus what? 0.5 g, right? Sine what?
Cosine.
Oh, sorry, cosine 20. Cosine
4.60.
20 equals 0. So R equals what?
4.6.
4.6 newtons. Clear? Right? Copy this quickly. Please recopy this, please.
Okay.
Because you have to practice on drawing the inclined plane, forces, resolving into components and these things, the inclined plane. yeah, it will be, guys. And at the beginning, you will not be familiar with this, especially with inclined plane and forces, resultant force, resolving forces along the inclined plane. But later you'll be familiar with this, so it becomes very easy. And don't worry about this. Acceleration. If you have finished, okay. Now I will start in question 3. When we have finished.
Yeah, start.
Is there a friction question 3?
Coefficient of
Yes,
friction.
yes, with friction. Okay.
So هذا بعد ما
Direction 3. Okay, now 3A, question 3. 3A, 3. Yes. Yes.
20 نيوتن مش على انجل.
بالضبط عشان هيك خليك شوي.
على انجل.
هذا خليك شوي. question 2 في new idea بس خلينا to master this point and then I will do question 2. Can I erase the board?
Yes.
Pay attention, please. What do we have in this question? Here, look, look here, I always try to draw a large inclined plane, right? In order to resolve the forces, everything will be more clear. Question 3. A boy of mass 40 kilograms sliding from rest down straight slide length 5 meters. The slide is inclined to the horizontal with angle 20. Here we have friction, the coefficient of friction between the boy and the slide is 0.1. By modeling the boy as a particle, find acceleration and the final speed. Acceleration and what? Final speed. Okay, this is the object. Again, look here, please. Just pay attention. First of all, there is a weight downward, 40 G. Always perpendicular what? To the ground. Just pay attention, please. Here always we have what? Normal. This normal always perpendicular to the surface. And it's mentioned that the boy is sliding down. So where is the friction? Okay, clear? Any question about this? But what I have to do now, where is the axis again? The angle given 20. Look here, please. Look. Yasham. Look here. This is x-axis. Right? Again. And this is what? Y-axis. And in the exam, actually, the drawing stuff has no mark. You may use any color if you would like it. You got my point, right? If you write the answer in red or something like this, it would not be marked. But because this is the graph will not be marked, okay? You may use red, blue, black, okay, in order to see these things. Actually, later you'll see that you don't need any of these colors. What is this angle? 20. Again, direct. Now directly.
So they give you the length of the slide.
Yes, Helen. Yes. Here, what do we have along this?
Weight, sign.
Here, look. Yes, here, always down. down the plane 40 G sine the inclined angle or inclination.
That's 20.
20 sorry.
That's a cosine.
Here,
Cosine.
the opposite direction of what? Of normal. Without more deep thinking about these things, right? Direct, what I have to do? Down the plane, 40G sine 20, but be careful, the angle should be what? An inclination angle, right? Against the normal, we have what? 40G cosine what? 20. What we are asked to find acceleration. Also, we are given certain information that U0, displacement is 5 meters, with coefficient friction, yes. Coefficient friction, not friction. Yes? We are given U, S. I can't find the acceleration from the equations of motion because yes, no information, enough information given to calculate this. V, U, T, whatever, right? But what I have to do, dynamic. F net, look here, down the plane equals what? MA, right? F net down the plane. F net, why down the plane? Because the movement is down the plane. It's mentioned where? In the question, right? It's mentioned where? In the question. What do we have here, Sham? Look. Down the plane, what do we have? 40G sine 20 minus the friction, right? Equals 40 times A. In order to find A, what I have to find? Friction.
We have to calculate R.
Yes, exactly. Clear? In order to find A, I have to find what? The friction. Since it's moving, the friction move equivalent to F max. Right? Equivalent to what? F max, which is mu times R. Again, for the steps. To find the acceleration, we need what? Friction. To find the friction, we need what? Normal force. How can I find it?
It equals to 0.
Yes, F net in this direction equals what? 0. No motion along what? Y-axis. No motion along what? Y-axis. R minus 40G cosine 20 equals 0.
368.
So R equals what?
368.
368 what? Newtons. Now find the F max. 0.1 368 36.8 newtons. Okay, fine?
Yeah.
So, we got the friction, which is equivalent to F max. Now substitute here. This becomes 40G sine 20 minus 36.8, right? Equals what? 48. A equals what?
2.43.
43 meters per second. Just pay attention for this point, which is important actually. خليكم معي شوي. هلا look here, guys. Just pay attention. We did rounding here, صح? We did rounding where? Here. Okay. Here.
We did not do rounding.
Yes, and we did round everywhere. For this, we'll make slight. مش راح يعمل changes. It could be.
3089.
Okay. It could be. We may have a slight change or not, whatever. But to be in the safest side. طلع شو بحعمل. I will not find the value of this. I will keep it as it is. Yes. I will keep this value as it is. Yani R equals 40G cosine what? 20. Okay? If you multiply this by 0.1, this becomes what? 4G sine 20. Here I did not do any round.
There's one.
cosine. If you multiply 0.1 by this, cosine 20. Substitute here, keep it as it is. Here, this would be 4g cosine of 20. Okay? And in the by using the calculator, طلع كيف بدي اطلع A equals 40g sine. Instead of g, we have to substitute what? 9.8 sine 20 minus 4g cosine 20 divided by what? 40. In this way, okay, we will reduce any mistake that could be done as a result of multiple or several roundings. Okay?
أنا بصح تكون الفاليو على الكالكوليتر.
كلها؟ لا.
بعدين بعمل راوندينج بحط عليها بس عشان استخدمها.
Okay, up to 3.
ما أنسى 2.43.
Yes, up to 3.
بس عشان استخدمها آخر شيء.
2 addition, that's again 2.43.
40. نفس الشيء.
Okay, no matter. يعني
بتطلع 2.4308.
Okay. But sometimes this will affect what? The answer. If we did several rounding, the final answer would be affected by 0 point something. Okay? Clear? This is the acceleration. Now we have to find the final speed or final velocity. This is A, B. Now we have A, right? We have S and we have what? U, right? So V squared equals U squared plus 2AS. Why? U is given, S is given, A is found, right? So what we have to find, V squared equals U 0 to A 2.43 times what? 5. 4.93 meters per second. Okay? Fine? Yeah, copy this. Yes. Okay, guys, let me do exercise 6. Okay? Let me do exercise 6. Question 6, right? Okay, again. In question 6, a block of mass 4 kilograms is pulled up a rough slope inclined at 25 to the horizontal by means of a rope, right? The rope lies along the line of the slope. The tension drop is 30. Given that the acceleration is 2, find the coefficient of friction. Find the coefficient of friction. Again, what are the forces? Look here. Look to question 6, guys. Question 6. First of all, we have weight downward. What is the mass? Is it given? 4g. Right? Mass 4g where down. Pay attention. Normal. Right? What else? There is a tension force upward. It's mentioned. 25 what angle? Look, there is a tension where? Up the plane, which is equivalent to 30 newtons. And the object is mentioned that the object is pulled where? Upward with acceleration is. What is the acceleration?
2 meters.
2 meters per second square. If the acceleration is upward, where is the friction?
Downward.
Down the plane. Yes. Here there is a friction. Clear? Okay. The second step, draw the axes. This is what? These are the axes. طيب هاي الانجل قديش؟
لا مش خلص
فالفريكشن were down the plane. Pay attention. Okay girls. Now what I have to do, طلع رجعين. Directly. Here what do we have?
4 sine
4g sine 25. وهير 4g cosine 25. Direct. Okay? Any question? We are asked about what? Coefficient of friction, mu. Again, to find coefficient of friction, I have to find normal and friction. Right? Normal and where? Friction. So, again, look here please. The friction lies where? Down the plane. So I have to use this F net. Now I will change the arrow here to where? Upward. Why? Because the movement now is upward. So tension, right? Minus friction minus what? 4g sine what? 25. Right? Sine what? 25. Clear? This will equal what? 4 times A, which is 2. Okay? So our tension is given. Tension 30 minus friction equals, minus friction minus 4g sine 25 equals 8. So the friction equals 5 point. You may. Okay, as you like. The friction mean is what? 5.43. What I have to find now? R. Look here. R along this axis. So F net where? Up or perpendicular to the plane equals what? 0. R minus what? 4g. 4g cosine 20 what? 5 equals 0. Okay? R equals cosine what? 25 newtons. Then mu equals friction over normal. Okay. Is it right? So the mu, yes, the mu equals what? Friction over normal. Friction, which is 5.43 over normal force 4g cosine what? 25. 0.15. And you know that the coefficient of friction has no unit. Right? Has no unit. Okay? Copy this quickly. If you understood this question or these questions, really 3E, this exercise, you will be able to do exercise 4A in chapter 4. In chapter 4. Okay? You can do it. Except certain points we did not talk about them yet. Okay? Pulley? يلا احكي لي بس هيك تشوفي الارز
ليش في دواء؟
دواء هي كلي Any question to what do we have? we have a new point, yes, or new idea. The diagram shows a box of mass 2 kilograms being pushed on up a smooth plane, right, by a horizontal force. A magnitude of 20 or a force, horizontal force of magnitude 20 Newton, yes, to push where the object were up the plane, right? Clear?
Yeah.
The plane is inclined to horizontal at an angle alpha, where tan alpha 3/4, find normal and what? Acceleration. Now, what is the information given? Again, guys, look please here. First of all, we have weight, right? What's the mass? 2g. Right? Yes. Normal. No friction, since it's smooth, right? The only difference, there is a horizontal force here is what? 20 newtons. There is a horizontal force here, 20 newtons. As a result of this force, the particle here will be pushed where? Up the plane. Right up the plane. Clear? Okay. So what I have to do, first of all, did you see this force?
I have to resolve.
Yes. Did you see this force?
Yeah.
I have to shift it in this way because its head lies where? In the object. Right? So this angle is alpha. Right? This angle is alpha. If this angle is alpha, this is what? Alpha. Z. Right? Aye. Okay? Clear? Okay, Sham? Sham, please. Aye, again. Look, this is alpha. Why? This is Z angle. Okay? عشان ما نقول طب انسي الكتاب خليك معي no matter from the way that you draw the inclination. So I will shift this force here as it is to be shifted here, صح? The angle with which direction? An inclined plane, right? تصير هاي alpha. You got the point? Okay, sure? طيب. After shifting this, I have to draw what? The axis. Okay, girls? This angle also is alpha. Okay, this angle is also what? Alpha. I will erase this. So, you know why, Sham? Because I shifted the force here. High force come 20 newtons. Clear? Directly here, what do we have? 2g sine alpha. Here 2g cosine alpha. Which force also should be resolved? 20. And هذا x وهذا y. It lies between them. صح? So what I have to do, طبعا I force the angle here with what?
The x-axis.
X-axis. فهاي شو بتصير؟ 20 cosine alpha وهير 20 sine alpha. Clear? Any question about this? Yes. 20 Newton lies between what? X and what? Y. Should be resolved. The angle with x-axis, so this becomes what? 20 cosine alpha and this, 20 sine alpha. Huh? 2g cosine alpha for the weight. Clear? Fine? Okay. Again, we are asked to find normal first of all, right? Look here please, F net along this direction equals what? 0. Okay, because the normal lies where? Lies where? On y-axis. Normal lies where? On the y-axis. R minus what? 2g cosine alpha minus 20 sine alpha. 2g cosine alpha minus 20 sine alpha equals 0. Okay? Fine? So we can find r, but we need to find what? Alpha. This from my knowledge.